This is my country, and I'm working on reforming my army. As he bares his fangs in front of generals of China. A grinding campaign has been going on for ages, inside the pillars and pillars of the Chinese army. Its title is anti-corruption. In depth, it appears allegiance. Nuclear power rears its head, and the plan to invade Taiwan from between the targets. China's army is boiling. What does the president want? China's president want? Chinese army. And why is it excluding senior leaders? Tell you about the Army Force's Chinese Missile Force, but no one told you before. What is happening in it today? Come, let's tell you the story of the king and the Bedouins. This is the largest purification campaign in the history of the eye. With these words, analysts described what is happening inside the Chinese army to the American Washington Post, which published a detailed report on what is happening inside the largest army in the world. In it, it said that Xi Jinping, China's leader, is personally overseeing a sweeping campaign to build loyalty, and further confirmations from its takeover of the People's Liberation Army. Perhaps some of the changes that took place in last July confirm this, especially if this time it affected the power of missiles, nuclear. On the 31st of July, during a ceremony held in the Chinese capital, Beijing, Xi announced the appointment of new heads of the Chinese army. This missile force completely controls the country's nuclear arsenal, in addition to conventional missiles, which, in including intercontinental ballistic missiles, some of them could be, it extends to the territory of the United States of America. The changes toppled the commander in chief of the missile force, and who is considered a veteran in the army. Before that change, he was out of sight for months. He was preceded by Foreign Minister Chen Geng, and who is known for his loyalty to Xi greatly, but the other has disappeared from the scene. The Washington Post notes that this disappearance, the two characters indicating extensive investigations with them, the force, in particular, is considered one of the most prominent programs within the army and the most developed and expanding very quickly. Terms of it is considered among the sensitive and important points in the long run. The Chinese president considers it an important force to seize Taiwan's and challenge the United States in the region and globally. With the change in the missile force came a new appointment from Xi, where appointed by the Air Force. A political commissar in the army is a senior position as responsible for implementing the directives of the ruling party. Some may say the changes are normal, but the so-called purge is not a result of the new appointments. For example, Liu Guangbin, the former deputy of the missile force, is absent from view general several months ago. China has not officially announced his role or his condition. This confirms that the campaign has reached its climax after it lasted for many years. The Chinese leader's campaign within the army is not a spur of the moment. Since the year 2012, she successively reveals that he is leading a campaign to suppress corruption within the Chinese army, as described. This led to the purge of senior leaders, such as the former chief of the Joint Staff of the People's Liberation Army, Wang Weiwei, who accompanied Xi on his first mission. When the U.S. president met the former Donald Trump in the year 2017, and he was sentenced to life imprisonment on charges in the year 2019. As reported by the newspaper, the Chinese, 3 old senior leaders are currently under investigation. And the Financial Times says that the former leaders of the missile force are investigating, with them on charges of leaking military secrets. Sex campaign is also declaring, as if it carries with it a lot of messages, where the body revealed the disciplinary committee of the Communist Party found more than 30 officials, including military personnel. They have been under investigation since October last year. She concluded her speech that it will resolutely eradicate the cancer of corruption without tolerance. Corruption in front leadership positions. But observers stress that loyalty to Xi is the criterion, where he sees that campaign as an opportunity to rearrange its ranks, to fight any upcoming war, especially the looming one with Taiwan. At the same time, Xi confirms through it his power over the army, which appeared shaky on some occasions. The Chinese army has long been considered isolated from politics and governance. And so, the veterans who control it. It is difficult for Xi and the Communist Party leaders to interfere in the affairs of the army. It is another aspect that Xi wants to guarantee the loyalty of the missile force in order to ensure strength in the war against Taiwan if it breaks out. Where missiles can. The traditional long-range strike the U.S. bases and planes in the Pacific. The short ballistic missile mission will strike Taiwan. So, despite the fact that these amendments dismissals have been outside the customs of the Chinese army, but with the passage of days, at a time for all that, who recruited a citizen who happened task and received money for it. And the Chinese Ministry of Public Security published a statement on her channel on the WeChat social networking platform. It stated that the U's intelligence agent stationed in Italy, Chinese named Cheng, who used to work for a military-industrial company, and she sent the company Cheng to Italy to do further studies, where he got acquainted with the CIA agent. The ministry said that a close relationship developed between these two during picnics, dinner parties, and the opera. Word in the statement is that the CIA agent is after his success in disturbing Chang's political positions, asked him for sensitive information about the Chinese army. And the statement did not mention when this happened. But he stressed that the U.S. intelligence through that spy. I obtained very important information. That's, the ad with the existing campaign. He could explain the size of the powerful Czech campaign. Is now. And how it came to reveal all the details in the various sectors' military. To be a real exhibit his army again.